Hi YouTube, it's Monica. So I'm going to do another cooking video for you guys. I'm going to show you my top secret fried chicken recipe. Okay, for this recipe you will need flour, Queen Bee Cajun seasoning. It's just an all-purpose seasoning, black pepper, salt, 1 egg, and then about 2.5 pounds of fried drumsticks. Alright, we're going to start off with our flour. We're going to put 2 cups of all-purpose flour into our bowl. Doesn't have to be precise, but you want your chicken coated thoroughly. Alright, 2 cups of flour. And then we're going to add our seasonings, which is the Queen Bee all-purpose Cajun seasoning. Now, I kind of eyeball this. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I use a tablespoon of this. So we're just going to sprinkle that in there. We're going to use a fork, because that's kind of how I mix it up. I want it all through the flour. So you just kind of sprinkle it in there until you see all the little red flakes throughout your flour. Like I said, I'm going to say about a tablespoon. Feel free to add more, add less, but go with the tablespoon. Next, we're going to just kind of eyeball the salt, and I'm going to say about a tablespoon. You don't want it too salty, but I do quite a few shakes, as you can see. Let's go with a tablespoon now. And we're going to put about a teaspoon of pepper, because there's already pepper in our Cajun seasoning. Alright, and then just take your fork, just kind of mix that up. And then once you have done that, you're going to move on to your egg. You're just going to take 1 egg, you're going to just crack it in your bowl. And then with your same fork, you're just going to whisk that egg. Once it's all beat up, you're ready for the next step. Okay, I like to use a cast iron skillet to cook the chicken in. I just find that it doesn't burn your oil as quick, and it just really makes it more flavorful. But I try to use this cast iron skillet just for my fried chicken, and then the other one is for like just your cornbread and stuff. So if you can, just try to use your cast iron skillet for one item in particular. Okay, so now we're going to add our vegetable oil. Now, you don't have to have loads of vegetable oil. You want it to about halfway cover your chicken. It doesn't have to be fully submerged in vegetable oil, but like I said, just halfway covering your chicken. Now we're going to go ahead and turn it on medium. You want to go ahead and start it out at medium so your oil doesn't get too hot too quickly. While we coat our chicken. Okay, so now we're just going to take our drumstick, we're going to go ahead and just dip it in our egg. Just go ahead and cover it fully in the egg, and then with your other hand, your clean hand, you're going to take a handful of the flour mixture. You're going to drop your drumstick in there, and then throw the flour back on it. And then you're just going to kind of pick it up from the side, just like so, and toss it around in there. So try to keep one hand for flour and 1 hand for egg. So you just kind of toss it around until it's fully coated. There's no wet or gummy spots. And then once it's done that, you're going to set it over to the side. Set it over to the side of your bowl. Like that. And then you're going to take your next piece, do the same thing with it. Fully coat it in the egg, grab a handful of flour, drop it in, and coat it again. I find if you do it this way, it helps the flour stick to the chicken, so it gives you that real nice crunchy crust. You know what I'm talking about? Alright, so I'm going to just keep on dipping all of these in the flour and egg, and I will be back to show you the next step. Alright, now that we've got our first batch of chicken nicely coated, I take about a pinch of the flour, I drop it in the oil just to see if it's ready, which our oil does look ready. So we're going to go ahead and take chicken leg out of the bowl. I'm going to go ahead and lay it in the skillet. And you don't want to overcrowd your skillets because it cools your oil down too quick and then it doesn't cook your chicken and make it nice and crunchy. So I usually put about 5 pieces in here at one time. So I get them laid in there. And you don't want your oil too hot. See how like we're laying it in there and it's not popping or anything like that? You definitely don't want it too hot where it's popping back and burning you. Then it'll burn your chicken. So once you've put it in the skillet, you're going to take some more of your Queen Bee Cajun seasoning and you're going to sprinkle it on the top. Just like that. Alright, so we're going to let these cook on this side for about 5 minutes and then we'll come back to check them. Okay, now that it's been about 5 minutes, we're just going to go ahead and take a peek at our chicken. See how it's starting to get real nice and golden brown on that side? We're going to go ahead and flip them over. Alright, now if you haven't already guessed, we're going to take some more of our Cajun seasoning and we're going to put it on this side. If you haven't figured it out already, this is my secret ingredient. It's making my fried chicken. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and let these cook for 5 more minutes and then we're going to check on them. Alright, so it's been about 5 minutes. We're going to go ahead and flip them again. I keep turning them back and forth just to make sure that they do not burn. I also probably should mention you need a pan with a rack on it to drain your chicken on so it's not just sitting in grease. And definitely wear an old t-shirt because your grease will sometimes pop out and you don't want to ruin your good clothes. So we're just going to keep an eye on this. It will take longer, of course, than 10 minutes to cook. You're going to cook your chicken until it is thoroughly done. You might have to, after, I'm going to say about 15 minutes, you might have to take one out. I would recommend the thickest piece and cut it with a knife just to make sure that it's no longer pink or, you know, bleeding. So we're just going to keep doing this and we'll be back in just a few minutes to check on things. Okay, as you can see, our fried chicken is done cooking. Like I said, for about 2 batches. It'll take you about an hour to cook 2 batches of chicken. So this is the end result. And that's pretty much it for my recipe. So if you have any questions, leave me some comments below. If you want to know how to make my homemade mashed potatoes, leave me some comments below. I hear some little ones getting hungry, so I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, YouTube.